survivor. And I ask you now to turn your attention to 8 such heroes. Who this morning take the first steps of a brand new journey. Hand in hand, our heroes surround an empty circle, a living symbol for the millions of women and men around the world whose lives have been lost to breast cancer.
Hi, my name is Jim Harper. I am the host and operations manager of Magic 105.1 in Detroit and host of the Magic Morning Show.
My name is Fay Samona, producer for Jim Harper and the Magic Morning Show in Detroit, Michigan.
Well, the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer 3-Day Walk has been around for years, and it's one of those walks that has been floating around the country for years, and the trick is that it's 3 days and 60 miles.
And we kind of knew a little bit about it. I didn't know a whole lot, and I've known a few people who have been diagnosed with breast cancer, and one of our on-air personalities in the morning show, Mike Bradley, his mom passed away of breast cancer, and Lynn Harper, Jim's wife, and I decided, well, we should walk on her behalf. So we did, and I thought, no one in my family has been immediately impacted with breast cancer, but the last thing I would ever want is to go through, or have my mom go through, or my sister go through what some of these women who have been diagnosed go through. The first year before Lynn Harper and I were walkers on the breast cancer 3-day team, there were a total of 10 walkers, and the money raised was very little. And then the year her and I decided, okay, we're gonna walk. We had 217 walkers and raised almost $460,000, the most money in the country. I was stunned, but not surprised, because our listeners, the Magic listeners, always come through. They talk to me like they've known me forever, and it makes me feel like I've known them forever. And it's really a family connection. I feel like I've known them for 100 years, even though I met them just that day.
When somebody comes up and they act like they've known you for a long, long time, that's the best compliment anybody on radio can ever get, because what they're really saying is, man, I connect. When you have people on the radio telling stories, and that's really what radio does best, we tell stories.
To actually firsthand hear stories from women, it really made me realize how little I knew about it and how many people it really does impact. And it doesn't just impact the person. It impacts their families, their friends, their coworkers.
And what ends up happening is people who listen project themselves in the position of being in need, or just wanting to help out their neighbor. And you'll notice that some of the most successful radio charities are in small donations, 10s and 20s and $50 bills and small checks, or clothing drives where somebody brings by 2 bags of clothing. And in many cases we've seen folks that look like they're maybe 1 or 2 paychecks away from being on the receiving end, and they are often the most generous. It's an amazing thing that happens, and I believe it's that wall that radio is able to break through.